How's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing well, and I hope you are having a great day. If you're unfamiliar with me, my name is Bungle. I like to do whiteboard presentations, and today we are going to be talking about the M24 Chaffee Premium. Alright, now if you're unfamiliar with the M24 or Enlisted in general, Enlisted is a World War II free-to-play MMO first-person shooter, right? So this is an alternative to, let's say, Battlefield 5. If you don't like Battlefield 5, you don't like all the drama that went along with it, Enlisted is a great option. Now, like all free-to-play games out there, right? The Enlisted offers kind of incentives, or would you say, if you put money in the game, you would kind of decrease your grind, improve your experience, etc., right? Now, we're not talking about pay to win, stuff like that. We're talking about if I'm trying to work on campaign levels, right? Because there are campaign levels where if you level up each campaign, you unlock new vehicles, new soldiers, new weapons, etc. If you want to expedite the process, then getting premium alongside a premium crew, premium squad, or a premium tank can kind of expedite the process. Now, we're going to be talking about the M24 Chaffee, which is a United States premium, which will show up in the Normandy campaign. So if you elect to decide to go and buy this vehicle at the end of watching my video, it will cost you roughly $40. So anyways, going on with it, what's the overview of the Chaffee? The Chaffee is a light tank armed with a 75mm cannon that has good mobility and also kind of trollish armor. Now, the armor of a Chaffee is a light tank, keep in mind, right? It is not going to stop the Panzer IV. So either the Panzer IVJ or the Panzer IVA. The reason why is the Panzer is armed with a 75mm cannon. Now when you face Panzer IIIs that are armed with a 50mm cannon, since it's a lower caliber, it's going to go and bounce off the Chaffee. Chaffee's armor is kind of trollish when it comes to Panzer IIIs. When you face Panzer IVs, in my experience playing against them, they're going to tear you to shreds. And the reason why is you don't have the armor to compete with a Panzer IV. Now the 75mm gun, right? We're going to talk about that. So you got to keep in mind, if you're playing the Stuart and you move to the Chaffee, you're going to see a difference with the firepower for one, and two, with the cannon, right? So a 75mm gun can tear through Pumas, can definitely work on Panzer IIIs. Now Panzer IVs, frontally, probably not. If you get them on the side, a good side shot on the Panzer IV would definitely hamper that Panzer IV and take him out of the fight. Now, going on with it, alongside a 75mm gun, you also have a 7.62 coaxial machine gun. And then on top of it, you have a mounted 12.7, so it's like a 50 cal, right? So you got a 50 cal on top of the tank, and you can only use that 50 cal if you decide to use a commander mode, which you press 3 on your keyboard, press left control, you'll be in the commander mode, so that's when your commander opens the hatch out of the tank, and you can basically let it rip with all the machine guns. Now keep in mind, I would only recommend using it on opportunities when there's a mass swarm of enemies. Normally if you're driving around with a commander out, someone can easily snipe your commander, take it out, and there goes your commander, right? You won't be able to use all those machine guns. Now, why would you buy the Chaffee, right? It's $40, right? Is this a premium you want to pick up and everything like that? You gotta ask yourself your play style. Do you play tanks a lot? Do you like to take the Stuart out? If you take the Stuart out, do you like to put yourself in positions where you can shine with a tank? And what I mean by it is that the Chaffee, or any tank in this game in general, cannot one-on-one infantry, like a whole infantry squad, right? If there are 2 or more infantry squads versus your tank and you're by yourself, out in the open, away from your battle buddies and your team, you're gonna be at a big disadvantage because usually enemy infantry packs anti-tank explosives and stuff. So it can easily take your tank out of the fight. Definitely don't recommend being that player driving around with that tank and getting taken out of the fight. Now, on the other side, if you know how to play your tanks, and you can kind of see my gameplay that I had on my channel, if you haven't checked it out yet, highly recommend just watching it because you can kind of see how I play. I definitely, most of the time, I would say 70% of my games I play, I usually finish, if not first, within the top 3. Top half of my team definitely, almost every match I play. And the reasoning is why is with you playing your tanks, you gotta keep in mind your infantry, right? You gotta keep in mind your peers, your battle buddies, and stuff like that on a map. If you're by yourself out in the open, you're definitely gonna get taken out easily, right? If you put yourself in positions where your teammates can support you, but you can also put pressure on the enemy, that's where the tank really shines. And if you play that way, or you play very well with tanks, especially with the Stuart, if you do really well with the Stuart, then this is kind of an upgrade from it. Of course, it's $40, right? You gotta keep in mind money, you know, $40, you buy a game, something like that, right? But if this is something you're doing really well in, playing the steward really well to the best of its ability, then you're getting an upgraded steward, right? Level 4 crew plus XP, and that XP boost is gonna go leagues for tanks. And this is true when I played the Panzer 38T for the German campaign for Battle Moscow. If you do really well in tanks, and you do really well, and what I mean by really well is you can consistently get in the game where you dominate, you're in the top leaderboard of your team, getting assists and kills with a tank, then you should probably consider picking up a premium, because the reason why is the premium gives that XP boost that normally you won't get from the tech tree version, right, or the campaign version. So you can go and power down the campaign levels a lot quicker using a premium vehicle or premium lineup. So basically, my recommendations, right, should you pick up the M24 Chaffee? If you play tanks, right, and I would say master the steward if you haven't done so already. If you don't know how to play the steward, or you struggle with playing tanks, you should probably understand how to play the tanks really in this game before you start buying premiums. And the reason why is because once you understand or master how to play your tank as a supporting role, then when you buy premiums and then you go use them, you get that XP boost that's really going to do leagues way better than Joe Schmo driving this tank out at the beginning of the battle getting blown up and saying, oh, what a waste of money, right? You gotta be smart about it, right? It's $40, it's an investment. You should probably put the time into playing the game, playing it correctly, playing the fundamentals right, so you master how to play the tank class, then decide to pick up the premium to ease your grind as you're playing. The Chaffee is not a bad tank. I thought at first it would be crap, and it is definitely crap against Panzer IVs, right? You gotta pick and choose where you're driving that tank. You gotta have that situational awareness. Hey, where is this Panzer IV going? Talk to your team, press V if you spot it, stuff like that. But if you get there and have the capabilities of engaging, let's say a Puma or a Panzer III, you definitely will be at advantage because of your trolley armor, the way it's angled on the Chaffee, as well as that 75mm gun. So like I said, in short, if you mastered how to play tanks, definitely consider picking this up. If you haven't played tanks yet or are uncomfortable playing it, play the steward, continue playing the tanks, the M8 and all that, etc. Understand how it works, understand how it can be effective, and when you start getting to that point where you're just going on a steamroll and you have enemy players trying to dive bomb you with the BF-109s or BF-110 trying to revenge kill you, and just seeing a whole swarm of enemy players going after your tank, that's when you know you're playing it right. So, like I said, understand the basics, master the tank class, and once you do, then I'm pretty sure the Chaffee will be a no-brainer for you. Other than that, if you stayed around, please consider subscribing. Definitely subscribing to my channel, watching my videos, subscribing, commenting down below. Your comments, I will read them 100%. And they definitely make my day when you go give me a positive comment. Now, if you give me negative comments or mash down that thumbs down button, that's fine too. It just helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Other than that, comment down below for future suggestions. I have other content I can cover too with this game. Definitely other premium squads I'm looking at picking up. Other than that, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.